Quick disclaimer, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing here should be considered financial advice. Always do your own research and understand the risks before investing.
Yeah, hello and welcome back to another Bitcoin update. So it's been a crazy day today in the market. A lot of liquidations, super heavy downside like we have been seeing. Really quickly, it's pretty much the same thing, base case, that we have been tracking for since around November. We have been tracking this extended wave to the downside in a C wave, where overall it would be a 5-wave move down and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move to the downside, where this 5th wave would be an A, B, C to the downside. This C wave, as you can tell, has been super extended, and it has started to break through some of these swing lows that we were talking about. Really quickly, if we go to the daily, we were talking about this specific point of the April low, which was around 74,500 more or less. We broke through that. Like we were saying in the last video, the more that we start to break down, the more likely that we will start to test some of these areas after we do break support. This was our main support zone that we are added for. Once we broke below that 66,000 level, I added a larger degree Fibonacci support, as well as some swing lows and swing highs that we could look for price reversals from. Doesn't mean it will reverse from it, but it will be a good indicator that something could be playing out. Now, really quickly, we're looking at some of these levels. So it seems like so far we hit this 60,000 level, and so far we've had a bounce from it. Could just be a dead cat bounce, nothing too serious. But what we want to see from this point going forward is, in order to indicate something bullish is going on, is a 5-wave up. Once we get that 5-wave up, if we go onto the shorter time frame, what we need to see from here to indicate a bottom is happening. If the C wave keeps extending, then this bottom is obviously not clear yet, but what we need to see to indicate a bottom could be in place is some price structure. So this price structure could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move up in the first wave, a 3-wave move down in the second wave, and then a 3rd wave, 4th wave, and a 5th wave to indicate that first larger degree move to the upside. And what we need to see is a break above these swing highs as well that we were forming from these dead cat bounces, which should be located around 79,000 for the first one. If we can move this over, we'll quickly add this in. Here we go. So break above this swing high with a 5-wave move, break above resistance, and some of these other swing highs as well. Now, it's totally possible that with these swing highs that we break, it's totally possible that we could just do this in a 3-wave move. But what we would like to see is a 5-wave move to the upside and a 3-wave move to the downside to indicate something is indeed an indicator that a bottom is in place. Doesn't guarantee it. If we only get that 3-wave move, I mean, it's totally possible that could be the bottom there, but maybe we just fall back afterwards. But as of right now, we have no indication of that. No break of swing high, no break of resistance, no even micro 5-wave move up. So the trend remains down. Now, some of our next larger support zones that we would be looking for, if 60,187 does break, then we could be possibly in a sell-off. Now, we'll go over the RSI really quickly because this move is super extended. Not guaranteed that we will get that bottom in, but usually when things are this oversold, we would be looking for that sort of rally. Like we were talking about, if we can find support in this support zone, then we could look for a larger rally afterwards, whether it's a more of a corrective bounce or it's a more impulsive, larger degree move up, but too early to tell. And things for the C wave seem to still being played out as well. Now, Our next major move after this 60,187 is broken, then we would be looking at some of these swing highs that we were forming here, which swing highs and swing lows, which would typically, if we kind of go from here, would be within that 50,000 area. So from 48,983 more or less to within this range of the, if we go to these swing highs, of 63,350, which we have already entered that zone as well. So if we mark that up as well, we have now entered that zone. So not guaranteed, but it's possible that we could, with each of these swing highs and swing lows, we could look for some sort of bounce from this support area. That could be our indicator that this C wave did bottom. Now it's totally possible that we do just bleed off into what people would call the bear market, where we would go past this zone or possibly bottom out within this smaller degree support zone of the 236 around the 47,000, assuming that were to take place. Now, as of right now, it does remain unlikely just because we haven't broke any of these support zones. We were warning of this until we have an indicator of a 5-wave move up, break of swing highs, and break through resistance. Then the trend just remains down at this point, and that's simply what we are seeing so far. Nothing too promising that we have seen, even with these smaller degree bounces that we have been getting. Now, really quickly, I wanted to go over the RSI super quick. If we go over to the 4-hour, we can simply see that we have hit very oversold on the 4-hour. Now, what we like to talk about is whenever we hit overbought or oversold, we typically see some divergences that play out. It's not always needed. It's not always needed for a rally to be in the oversold, but usually it's an indicator that a possible trend shift could be coming. Now, we don't need a bullish divergence on the RSI. It's totally possible that we do just rally from here, or at least from that bottom, but we do like to see divergences get filled out, but that is not always the case with these as well. If we go to the 1-hour, we were in the oversold as well. Seems like we have bounced up with this tiny wick that we are getting, but really quickly want to talk about the daily. We are at, or we did get to around 16 on the RSI, which quite frankly is very rare to come across. So far, the last time we hit this oversold on the RSI was back in 2020, which was from COVID, and back here in 2018 was another time that we got hit on that low on the daily oversold. So pretty crazy to see that, but like I was saying before, with our support, until we get that move to the upside, break of swing highs, then the trend just remains down. So not super surprising to see that as well. But on the weekly, we did get oversold on the weekly, even though the week is not finished yet. It's just a pretty cool thing to see this happen, because this is just usually happens for what people would call the bear market for Bitcoin, where we usually get oversold on that weekly. So it's totally possible that we do just bounce from here and we get out of the oversold, then we start that rally that we were looking for, and then we can go back and get oversold, but way too early to tell. Obviously, none of that is guaranteed. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for this video. Hopefully that was simple. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.